Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking out the time on a Saturday evening. I'm sure you all would have some or the other plans, but you have taken out the time to gain some knowledge instead of doing something else. So, of course, it is going to be a very enriching session with our esteemed speaker. Uh, I'll give a brief background of about our speaker. Mr. Kshitij Trivedi. He is serving as the Assistant General Manager at Industrial Extension Bureau, where he leads investment proposition, investment investor facilitation, and the international cooperation unit. A key member of the communication team for Vibrant Gujarat Global Summits, he brings over a decade of experience in business development and marketing in the IT sector. An IT engineer with an MBA in marketing, he is currently pursuing a PhD in soft skills at IAR Gandhinagar, focusing on bridging the industry academia gap in Gujarat's tech sector. Passionate about communication and professional development, he conducts soft skills workshops at Ahmedabad Management Association and leading other educational institutions as well. He is also actively involved in faculty development programs and student interactions to enhance employability skills. Uh, with a big round of applause, let us welcome our speaker for today. Without wasting much time, over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. An Godiawala, for this short, crisp, and professional introduction, sir. And as such, I'm honored to be a part of this short open program, and my privilege to enlighten you with whatever thoughts and whatever knowledge I've imparted as a part of my PhD research. Today's very short presentation will focus on how can we abridge the gap between industry and academia as far as Gujarat's IT tech, matlab IT companies sector is concerned. I'm not going to bore you with slides and words of presentation. This is just an indicative slide. Uh, what we are going to do or discuss today is basically what is this gap all about? Why is this gap there? Who are the basic building blocks of this gap, the stakeholders of this gap, and how can we overcome the same? A very short, crisp talk, and I will be to the point so that, जैसा गोडियावाला साहब ने बोला कि we all have to ensure that we are investing our one of the evenings in a most fruitful manner. First up, I would like to draw your kind attention to some of the figures. First figure is the India Skills Report, which is being issued by the Wheelbox company in association with AICTE, that is All India Council for Technical Education, and CII, Confederation of Indian Industries. What this report says is India's employability rate has around is been around 54% in the last financial year. 2025 report hai ye. I don't have any problems with that because last year India's rate was 51%. So by that logic, it has already aroused by greater than 5%. That's okay. Look at the other figures. 78% Gujarat's employability rate. Sounds great. No problem with that too. But this is of age group 26 to 29. The moment the age group drops down, we get to the teen age, that is 26 to 22 age, the employability skills should get higher. Instead of it getting higher, it is getting lower. Lower by considerable 20 or 23 percentage than the bigger age group. This has to be one of the concerning areas as far as the employability skills gap is concerned. Up for a story, I'll share you a very short story about one of the bright students of Gujarat whose name was Viren. And through this story, we'll try to learn about what is this gap all about and how can we overcome it. Viren is one of the brightest college student hailing from one of the remote areas of Gujarat. He was commencing his engineering in IT, and he excelled in every subject that his professors taught during his college days. His brilliance took him to the corporate level, and he was able to secure his internship in one of the mid-sized companies of Ahmedabad. Nothing wrong with that. His internship areas included latest framework like .NET, Java programming, and mobile app development. He was very satisfied with the progress of his career. One fine day, his career dedication led him or took him to one of his dream jobs in one of the IT multinational companies of the city. Definitely was excited, but the interviewer gave him a very fair reality check. The questions the interviewer asked him gave him a very hard hitting realization. Interviewer asked him about the latest framework in .NET, the latest framework in Flutter, the latest framework in AI development tools, and what all is happening in the market. Viren was a little shocked. He was aware about the definition of latest being frameworks in .NET and Java, whereas interviewer were asking everything new to him. He was under impression that I knew everything about the latest technologies, but the interview was not according to him. Interviewer kept on asking 1, 2 and 3. Viren kept on replying 3, 4 and 5. Interviewer kept on asking A, B and C. Viren replied 4, 5 and 6. Definitely there was no match, and to his utter disappointment, the same story was repeated, and the interviewer said that Viren, we appreciate your efforts, but we would like to hire a candidate who has aware about the latest technical frameworks that is in the market. This shook him. This story is all about many Virens and many other Virens currently studying in Gujarat. Ironically, the technical gap between what is being taught in the colleges and what the industry demands was there when I was commencing my engineering in 2009. Unfortunately, the same gap remains still in 2025. So, why of this gap? Number one, outdated curriculum. Whatever is being taught in colleges is not at all demanded by the engineering industries and IT companies. Number two, lack of practical exposure. Students in this era are hardly aware about what's happening in the market. How does an IT company work? What is the ecosystem of the technical domain? There is very little or almost no awareness in the students. They all know is कि programming करना था, हो गया, project delivery, पैसा आ गया, खत्म. But ऐसा नहीं होता. There are a lot more layers how an IT industry operates, which students totally lack the knowledge about. And third, there is hardly a collaboration between industry and academia. So again, this is the big why of why exactly this gap is there in the industry. It was there, and unfortunately it is there. Now let me touch upon a very little about what exactly the industry needs versus what the academia focuses. Industry needs real world problem solving. Academia focuses on theoretical knowledge. Industry needs hands on experience on the latest framework. Academia focuses on exam oriented learning. Yes, I do agree that nowadays the academics are far more getting ahead from this marks mentality. But yet, having said this, the main reason of this gap, in my polite opinion, is कि जब engineering colleges में admission होता है, that admissions are happening on the basis of technical marks and merits. The placements are happening on the basis of the knowledge and not on the basis of the marks. So this is the basic reason of why there is industry and academia gap. The industry basically per se needs communication skills. Even if you are a fresh candidate, you are an intern, or you are an experienced person, if you lack the basic communication skills, you are perceived as unready professional. This is unfortunately, but this is very harsh reality, and that is what the corporate offer. And the academia on the other end focuses on only niche exposure. Either you have to be good at database programming, or you have to be good at designing skills, or you have to be good at programming. That's it. But the real industry demands all rounders. When I was studying back in 2007-9, our professors used to teach us, and they used to say that beta एक टेक्नोलॉजी पर તમે લોકો મહારત હાંસલ કરી લો and the things will follow. Nowadays, this mentality will not work. Yes, there has to be master of one. I do agree with the primary fact. But who is jack of all and master of none can also work wonders, because the miniature work or the basic work would be done by AI. The other way around, when we were in the committee room, I was discussing with sir about the impact of AI, and we came across one of the wonderful thoughts that AI is not going to take your jobs, but the person who knows how to use AI might take your job, right? So AI is going to do all the basic work, and the industry will require only smart professionals. So the biggest mismatch here is, number one, lack of professional environment in academia. अभी भी वही चल रहा है कि आप किताब की थाली उठा के जाओ, एग्जाम क्लियर करो, वापस आओ. वो इंडस्ट्री को नहीं चाहिए. तो देयर इज अ मिसमैच. सेकंड, poor project quality. The industry is saying, I know many CEOs and many progressive CEOs who are intending or who want the fresh candidates to work on live projects. But my question is, are these projects really live? Ask yourself. Practically, the answer will be a little no. They are not essentially live projects, because even the industry is a little afraid of putting a fresh candidate on the live projects. This is but natural. No harm in that. But at least give him the heat, at least give him the environment, at least give the fresh candidates what exactly is going to happen with him in the coming 3, 4, 5, 6 years, so that it will polish him and it will be polishing and turning up him in a good professional. Last but not the least mismatch is lack of industry interaction. There are a lot of progressive CEOs of IT companies in Ahmedabad, which I know. They are calling the industry experts. Even the academics are calling the industry experts. But again, the industry experts are having the knowledge only of a singular domain. They are not able to impart the real knowledge of the IT tech sector ecosystem to the students. Again, this is the biggest mismatch in the IT industry. Now let me focus on what's going on in the world, how is the world functioning, and what can Gujarat's IT sector can actually pick up from the global best practices. Number one, Germany. We all understand and we all know that Germans are one of the finest education systems in the world. Any innovation ranking, Germany country, Israel country will be there at the top. The reason is dual education system. The students, when they are securing their admission in their technical courses, are not just focusing on theoretical knowledge. They are not handed over the big thick books right from the day one. And even in deciding the curriculum, every 6 months there is a committee which includes the industry veterans, the young CEOs of Germany, Berlin, and they guide actually the government कि आप इन courses को अपने academics में दाखिल कीजिए. Will have these courses studying the students, and the students who are studying these courses will be happy to intake them and offer them the jobs. Dual education system. Second is university industry synergy. This is one of the classic South Korea 21 project, which is being jointly developed by countries like South Korea and Singapore. We all know they are tech savvy nations. So they have jointly launched a project. They are giving a facility like this campus to both the corporates and the academicians कि आप यहाँ पे आइए. Every Friday, every Saturday, you come over here, you brainstorm. Academics will share the stories with the industries, and industries in turn will share the stories back to the academics as to what's happening. And that's how they collaborate, and that is how the structure goes on and on and on. Coming to the third industry academia partnerships, one of the classic models developed by developed economies like USA and UK, they are having their own incubation centers. And these incubation centers are bringing the academics and the tech sector collaborations on. Now my question is, what exactly can Gujarat pick up from this? These models in theory sound very simple, in practical they are not. બટ આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ ને કે સંબંધોની તાળી છે ને એ હંમેશા બે હાથે પડશે. તો ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી એન્ડ ધી એકેડેમિયા હેઝ ટુ કમ અલોંગ, હેઝ ટુ કમ ટુગેધર, તો જ સંબંધોની તાળી પડશે. And there are a lot of facilities available, a lot of infrastructure available in cities like Ahmedabad. Only thing requires it a good initiative from the government and a good initiative from the tech sector. They have to collaborate for the greater good of the sector and for the greater good of the students as well. Now, this is how to overcome the gap. Tripartite action plan to overcome the gap. Every player, if plays a role, then only will be able to cast a movie. जैसे एक अच्छा मूवी होता है तो डायरेक्टर अपना रोल प्ले करता है, एक्टर अपना रोल प्ले करता है, कोरियोग्राफर अपना रोल प्ले, हर कोई अपना रोल अच्छे से प्ले कर पाएगा, then we'll be able to weave a good story out of this gap. Number one, industry. In my opinion, industry has required to engage more with the campuses, deliberate more on what's going on in the academics and what is being taught. Secondly, structured internship programs. Currently क्या हो रहा है कि 6 month internship, 1 to 7 semesters students has to be in the college, 7 to 8 semester full time 6 months कोई अता पता नहीं होता कि बच्चा क्या कर रहा है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा. If people at my age, when I was working for the IT companies, if some professor from the college would have asked me and called me कि आपके अंडर में हमने ये 3 बच्चे भेजे हैं, हमें उसका फीडबैक चाहिए, I would have loved to share the feedback. And why not? For the good of the students. अभी ये सिस्टम नहीं हो रहा है. बच्चे 6 महीने के लिए जाएंगे, प्रेजेंटेशन देंगे, बात करेंगे. Right? So this gap will always be there, and this is the primary reason why this gap is there, because there is no collaboration between industry and academia. Third is hiring through case challenges. अभी आप देखिए hiring कैसे हो रहा है for the fresh candidates. Simple interview, a little bit of technical test or maybe aptitude test, and the candidates are hired. Aptitude test से भी मुझे कोई problem नहीं है, but the way aptitude tests were conducted in 2007, almost similar way of conducting the aptitude test in 2005. How is it possible? Are we really evolving? Are we really competing with the tech sectors of Pune, Bangalore, Mumbai and Hyderabad? A biggest question to ask for the industry and to answer by the industry. Second, students. और यहाँ पे मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ, industry should do this, academia should do this, but it is also in the hands of the students. Number one point, सेल्फ लर्निंग इनिशिएटिव्स. अगर बच्चा ये सोच के कॉलेज में आता है कि 4 साल में मेरे को डिग्री मिल जाएगा, आई एम रेडी, इट इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. देयर इज़ अ लॉट मोर लेयर्स टू योर डिग्री एंड अ लॉट मोर लेयर्स टू द एक्चुअल स्टडीज विच आर बीइंग बैक्ड बाय द डिग्री. द क्वेश्चन इज, आर यू रियली अवेयर अबाउट द लेटेस्ट फ्रेमवर्क्स? आई अंडरस्टैंड, मैं सबका बोल रहा हूँ कि इंडस्ट्री शुड इन्फॉर्म, एकेडमिया शुड इन्फॉर्म, बट स्टूडेंट्स का भी तो जिम्मेदारी बनता है कि awaken yourself, awaken, get ready in the communities, come in these open forums, designed by organizations, institutes like AMA. आपको पता भी है यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है. Do you really network? बच्चों से मिलता हूँ तो बच्चे बस यही बोल के चुप हो जाते कि I am just a student. I am like, no, you are a student. You are not just a student. You are a student. Even I am a student. So what? Why are we downgrading कि आप अनुभव वाले हैं, मैं अनुभव बगैर का हूँ? No. बच्चों को भी नेटवर्किंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज उठाना होगा. आई विल शेयर वन ऑफ द क्लासिक केस स्टडीज फ्रॉम द वाइब्रेंट गुजरात ग्लोबल समिट. वी जनरली कॉल volunteers as students, and their duty is very simple कि you aware yourself with the entire summit, with the entire exhibition, with the entire trade show, and whenever any international guest comes, we will attach that guest with you so that the guest will get a picture of how powerful the youth of Gujarat is. तो एक बच्चा आया मेरे पास एंड ही वॉज लाइक वेरी अहेड ऑफ द ट्रेड शो. ही केम 7 days बिफोर द ट्रेड शो. बोला कि अब मैं क्या करूँ, मैं समझ नहीं आता, मेरा रोल तो ट्रेड शो के दौरान होगा, अब मैं क्या करूँ. तो आई जस्ट शेयर्ड हिम एन आइडिया कि आप एक काम करो, जितने भी स्टॉल्स हैं ना उसके कार्ड इकट्ठा करो एंड स्टार्ट इंटरैक्टिंग. मैंने सिर्फ इतना ही बोला था. दैट स्मार्ट चैप, आई रियली रिमेंबर हिज नेम वॉज मृणाल वैष्णव. दैट स्मार्ट इंजीनियर went to every stall. He comes back on the 4th day to me and says कि सर आपने मुझे ये बोला था ना. I went to every stall. I met a lot of exhibition owners, a lot of good corporate giant designation owners. Sorry. And now I have 3 internship opportunities on my hand. Right? तो अगर वो बच्चा बैठा रहा होता तो वो बैठा ही रहा होता। अगर उसने रोमिंग शुरू किया, नेटवर्किंग शुरू किया, एंड ही केम द आउट ऑफ द बबल ऑफ आई एम जस्ट स्टूडेंट, तो नेटवर्किंग अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला तो इंटर्नशिप का ऑफर मिला। तो बच्चों को भी अपने बबल से, अपने नटशेल से, कॉलेज डेज से बाहर बहुत जल्द आना पड़ेगा। Second thing, industry certification. There are a lot of good industry level courses that are happening which are ahead of your academics. At least एक वर्कशॉप जो अटेंड करना ही चाहिए वो है हाउ टू यूज AI tools. If you are not in this era 2025, if your age group is 22 26 and you don't know how to use ChatGPT, you are lacking a big time. There are very high chances 2 महीने के बाद you will regret it, बस चली गई होगी। तो अगर आप स्टूडेंट हैं, अगर आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं, तो स्टार्ट गेटिंग सर्टिफिकेशंस, स्टार्ट लर्निंग स्किल्स विच यू आर रियली सपोज टू लर्न। एंड थर्ड थिंग, नेटवर्किंग विथ प्रोफेशनल्स, जो हमने बात करी कि यू स्टार्ट नेटवर्किंग विथ प्रोफेशनल्स, एंड देर आर मैनी गुड प्रोग्रेसिव कम्युनिटीज इन सिटीज़ लाइक अहमदाबाद इटसेल्फ। और अगर आप किसी CEO से मिलने जा रहे हो तो वो ना थोड़ी बोलेगा है, वो ये थोड़ी बोलेगा कि तुम तो स्टूडेंट हो, मैं तो ओनर हूँ, मैं बात नहीं करूँगा। अरे बात करते हैं लोग आपसे, आप घबराते हैं, आप डरते हैं, तो प्रॉब्लम आप में है, तो आपको थोड़ा बबल से बाहर आना पड़ेगा। एंड लास्ट थिंग, एकेडमिक्स, you guys have to focus on industry types, you have to focus more on knowledge adoption about exactly where the industry is going. You have to be at least 2 कदम आगे नहीं रह सकते, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन सिर्फ 2 ही कदम पीछे रहे, अभी आप 10 कदम पीछे, आई एम सॉरी। सेकेंड थिंग, मैंडेटरी इंडस्ट्री प्रोजेक्ट्स, बच्चों को सिर्फ 8 सेमेस्टर में ही क्यों भेजना है? 7 सेमेस्टर कॉलेज में रह के वो क्या करेगा? बीच बीच में भी 1 आध महीने का इंडस्ट्री का प्रोजेक्ट रखिए, बच्चे वहाँ पे जाएंगे, कुछ देखेंगे, कुछ सीखेंगे हाउ एग्जैक्टली द इंडस्ट्री फंक्शंस। एंड लास्ट थिंग, ऑर्गेनाइज कॉर्पोरेट guest lectures. By guest lectures, I don't mean calling any Tom, Dick and Harry, but you have to choose wise on who exactly is really eligible to deliver a lecture in the college. એટલે આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ ને કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીના કપડા, સ્ટુડન્ટ્સના તનડા અને એકેડેમિક્સના મનડા, આ ત્રણેય મેચ થશે તો મારા ટેક સેક્ટરના દલડા મેચ થશે, રાઈટ? લાસ્ટ બટ નોટ ધ લીસ્ટ, एक छोटा सा, दिस इज़ ऑलमोस्ट एंड ऑफ द प्रेजेंटेशन, एक छोटा सा क्रोनोलॉजी मैंने पढ़ा था, एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली माय इंडस्ट्री और माय टेक सेक्टर रिक्वायर्स, इसके बारे में छोटा सा एक कहा गया था दैट देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ डेफिनेशन अबाउट द टीचर्स, कि सब बोलते कि मैं भी टीचर, आप भी टीचर, ये भी टीचर, बट टीचर वर्ड ऑल्सो हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ लेयर्स टू इट. So someone has said कि one who has all the information is called as adhyapak. One who is able to weave that information and identify into knowledge is known as upadhyay. One who has in-depth knowledge about one particular subject is called as pandit. One who is able to coach you on that particular skills is called as acharya. One who has a visionary view on a particular subject is known as drashta. And one who can really awaken the wisdom and might within you and take you from the darkness to the light of knowledge is known as gurus. And my dear ladies and gentlemen, my tech sector requires gurus. It is very easy to identify those niche gurus which are already there in the academics and which are already there in the industry side as well. But these gurus are our keys to identify or to fulfill the industry academia gap in the Gujarat's IT tech sector. So the call for action is each stakeholder, students, industry and the academicians must play their role. You tell me what's your next step. With this is my end slide. I'll leave the house open for any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much. Please. I think that it was very enriching. I am not from the tech background as such, but it was still beneficial because there are so many things which are not just limited to the tech sector but apply overall to every professional, every student and every person in the industry. Of course, as you said, that every student, like, it is the same for every single job. If even if I am a 50-year-old man and if I am moving on to a new job, the the company wants that I am updated with the current what is new in the market. Obviously, if a company is hiring, they would definitely want someone who is upgraded to the date. Of course, that makes AI the most important in the current generation. That is what we were also discussing earlier. And with the more and more accessibility that now we are having online, and because of the cost efficient technology as well, so many of the AI courses are also practically free if we are considering Coursera and things like that. I think it is an absolutely a great opportunity for all of us to, like, even in the industry sector, whoever is currently a professional, even if we are not planning to change jobs, it is absolutely critical to keep ourselves upgraded from day to day, just so that we don't become redundant. And someone, as he rightly said, that if someone knows AI, he would be the person to take your job, not AI itself taking anyone's job. So I think today we have had a great session, and definitely all of us have at least some upgrade to our own skill set, and of course some part of a guru that we have seen in you as well today. So thanks a lot, and thank you everyone for this being such a wonderful audience today. Thank you so much.